νομίζω κάνει φοβερή δουλειά στην Ομόνοια.
And we call taxi, and with Kilian, I open the door to find, I put him in the taxi, and I close the door, and I want to go inside, and Kilian go out.
You're going to get someone messaging you afterwards saying, "Why did you mention me?"
Hey, fuck.
She say, I cry because you are here today.
Πάμε να κάνουμε φτιάχνω λίγο αμπρεγά από τα μέσα.
And we're live. Welcome to another edition of the No Choftes podcast on the OLB, the Alpha podcast, the best podcast in Cyprus. Get it right. I'm your host, Stel. I've got Chris, Andreas from Thema Sports. Welcome, gentlemen. And we have a very, very special guest, Nelson Veiga. Nelson, welcome to the No Choftes podcast.
Yes.
How you doing? You right?
Yes, thank you. First of all, I want to thank you the invitation for your podcast. Thank you so much for the invitation, and it's for me a pleasure to be invited for your program.
Thank you very much, Nelson. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for jumping on. Andrea, we didn't give you the introduction. Filemu, thank you so much for joining us as well.
Thank you for the invitation. It's been, I think we were late. I should have come earlier in this show. I'm a
it's
fan.
My fault. We're off there. Not me.
It's been one of the goals of my life to be on the No Choftes.
Sika, look at this guy. Christou and Filemu. And Chris, how you doing, right? You're a bit blurry-eyed. You've been doing DJing too long, isn't there?
Nah. I've got my 7 hours of sleep. I woke up, took the dog he went for a shower. I'm good. Had my coffee. I'm awake. I'm ready. Let's go.
You're not the star of this. Your dog is the star of this show. Right?
My God, this dog.
Anyway, Nelson, let's first talk about your time before joining Omonoia. I know you're playing at Vitória Setúbal, if I'm not mistaken, with Paulo Ferreira. Is that correct?
Yes. I play in Omonoia with Paulo Ferreira. Omonoia in Setúbal with Paulo Ferreira. Before we played together in Estoril, and from Estoril we moved to Setúbal, to Vitória Setúbal, and we played there together again. We were in the same apartment. He is more than a colleague. He's a really friend. And after he moved to Porto, I moved to Naval, different traject, of course. And he's a person that he's a player that he did a wonderful career, and I was always supporting. And he's a friend.
You were at the early stages of your career during a time where Portugal had produced so many wonderful players all at the same time. You know, yourself, it was Ferreira, Carvalho, Manish, Costinha, Quaresma, etc. I was speaking to Luis Gonçalves a while back, who was at Sporting many years ago with Cristiano. Yeah. And he was telling me that there's so much talent in Portugal, but there's a lot of competition to bring in the younger players because you've got Porto, Benfica, Sporting, Boa Vista, etc. What's the secret to Portugal producing all these fantastic players?
I believe, first of all, Portugal is a really country of football, and the education of the coaches, I believe that is very important for this formation of these good players. Understand, from the beginning. Of course, there is a lot of talent, yes, but the way to work them is really important to them to become very good in the future, in the pro time, because we are a small country. We have 11 million persons. And for a small country as Portugal to have such a big number of good players in all the championship and coaches also, everything that is relating with football, we have the quality, guaranteed quality. And I believe the education is really, really important. You know, the coaches, they have very, very, they are very interesting. In Portugal, actually, after Mourinho, uh, even before, but Mourinho was the big name, was the boom for the coaches. But to imagine, in Portugal, we have kids that they have now 14, 15 years old, and they are thinking about being coaches instead of being players. That's mean a lot, and this is a thing that I believe help a lot to make these talents became good players in the future.
I know that a lot of the Portuguese fullbacks, the right
Yeah.
back, the left back, they like to get forward. That seems to be in the Portuguese DNA, attacking football, but with a lot of technical ability, but also defensive discipline.
Yes, yes, yes. Defensive discipline, of course. The talent is the base, of course, because without talent, you cannot make the difference. But after the the know-how about the tactic, I think is very, very important to make the difference also in the future. You understand? To know about the game, and this is also a thing that in Portugal, from I believe even that here in Portugal we do it too much, and we start to go for the other side. That okay, I'm not so enthusiastic about this, that we make the tactic even with 10 years old, 11 years old. For me it's too early. It's too early. But here in Portugal we are doing that. You understand? And for this reason, the talent with the tactic make the things work very well in the future. Yes, even if I believe that we are in one time that we are blocking a little bit the players, the creativity and the talent with this tactical information for very early. But okay, until now is working.
Excellent. Well, I've got one more question before I let Chris and Andrea ask theirs. We've spoken to quite a few Portuguese former Omonoia players, and some of them have said that you were quite influential in changing their minds to come to Omonoia, that you were kind of like a secret scout, you know, some
Yeah.
kind of influencer. What was it like for you joining Omonoia? Did you know much about the club? How did the move come about? Tell us everything you remember if you can.
Okay, yes, I remember very well. I remember very well because it was important time in my life, in my career, because it was the first time that I moved from Portugal, you know. So I remember very well. I was in vacation. I was just finished my season in Naval, first division in Portugal, and I had several invitations even to go to England for trial out. You know, I remember that I have in that time Queen Park Rangers, I believe, second division,
Yeah.
to go make a trial, and after came Omonia, and I was wondering what I'll do. I'll go to second division in England to make a tryout, and if the things goes wrong, or I go to Cyprus, that I don't know too much. That much is not a big championship. Okay, we go play to Europa qualifications, which will be good. But okay, I had some doubts. I spoke with a former player that was my coach, Rui Agos, that he played in Benfica, a big name here in Portugal. And I asked him because he's a person who, at the time special, was a person that I always ask him tips, what to do. And he told me, look, I went to play with Benfica against Omonia for Europa qualification. And tell Nelson, I tell you that is the big club. This is the biggest club in Omonia, in Cyprus, it's like Benfica here in Portugal. So if you want to try such experience like that, I tell you to go. Why not? So when I arrive in Cyprus and I find when I found this Omonoia, this big Omonoia in Cyprus, for me was a wonderful surprise. It was a really good surprise, and I was in love with the club, with the Trifilarinha, with the country. It was really good. And after in January, I had a call from the agent. Now he's one of the biggest agents in Portugal, and he told me that he was very close to bring Marcelinho, Edgar Marcelinho to 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 Omonoia, and he asked me a little bit about it, and I told him, look, if you want to come to Cyprus, this is the club. I tell you, this is amazing. Bring him because you will see that he's a good option. Also, after he came Turão, also Pedro Turão, he called me also. Nelson, look, I have an offer from a club there in Cyprus, Omonoia. I say, hey, take the luggage and come because this is really good. This is really good. You will enjoy it. So after that was easy. The players they start to speak to the other players in Portugal. Of course, I was the first one in Omonoia, so everybody was calling me to ask me, and I gave them the best information possible because I were in love with everything there. Yes.
Bernardo Vasconcelos was telling me about the drive to the stadium or the training ground, and he was in a limousine with some representatives of Omonoia, and they were just smoking with the windows closed and the aircon on. He was like, "What am I doing here? I need to go back home."
The first time in Cyprus was really funny because I had some histories, some episodes also like that make me when I call to the people in Portugal, we laugh a lot. We laugh a lot. First of all, when I arrived to Cyprus, I didn't imagine that Omonoia was so big. This is the first thing and the truth. So when I arrived at the airport, I had there the press, the journalists, such a number of people wait for me, and Mr. Migalagis from Omonoia, he was waiting for me, and he told me, okay, we need to speak with some journalists here. I said, journalists, but why journalists? I was not expecting, the dimension of the club. And when I saw that, okay, I gave some interviews, and I was wondering, but what's going on in this here? But I didn't imagine that the club is so big. And okay, it was funny because the first time when I called to my wife, I told him, look, I came here. I was okay. I go to Cyprus to see what's going on and to try this first experience, and I came here as a star, as a big star in a big club with journalists, everybody, a big press, number of people, and it was funny. And after I went straight to the club, we managed the things, and I went straight to the field to play to training because was in the week that I will play for Europe. Was like this. And when I came from the dressing room, I met the people there. When I make the way to the from the dressing room to the pitch, I had a player that I will not tell the name. He was smoking from the dressing rooms until the pitch. He was speaking with me. Look, welcome, Nelson. We'll see you will like this. Cyprus is a good country. And he was smoking. I said, what's going on here? What? He was smoking. He's smoking. He's going to the pitch smoking. So I laugh a lot. This is just one of the two of the episodes are really funny that I faced when I came to Cyprus.
Absolutely brilliant. Chris, over to you, my friend.
Nelson, first things first. During your first year, the question I'd like to ask is, who was your best partner at center back that you were playing during your first year that was able to also push you and also improve your game during that first year at Omonoia? Who was it, do you think?
Was Petros Konafis. Petros.
Konafis.
Yes,
Nice.
Konafis.
And how was he with you? I mean, obviously he is Cypriot. He knows the country. He knows Omonoia. I'm guessing he filled you in a little bit. But how was he helping you during game and also behind the scenes, of course?
Okay. Look, my relation with Petros in the first times in Cyprus, okay, it was a little bit cold relation. We didn't have so close relationship out of the field. At the pitch, we understood each other really well. You understand? Okay. Petros, he has a strong character, very strong character. So sometimes I in the games, I feel that the things he has not the same opinion of myself, and myself the same of him, and we felt that we are not in agree there in the pitch, but the things work. You understand? Work anyway. But after to you to see how is the things, and after month after month, game after game, we start to be more close, even if we are not the best friends, but especially in the pitch, we support to each other in a way really good. You understand? Really good. And now is I believe that is the person that I speak more in Cyprus is Petro Konafi. We still speaking, we still have a relation, But at the time, to be honest, was not imagine Kakoyanis. We are really close. Out of the pitch, and even in the pitch when we play together, we are really friends, But Petros, no. Petros, okay, you play your game, I play my game, we play for Omonoia, and we see what's going on, and the things work because I am sure that at that moment, I have no doubt that we are the best couple in the championship. I have no doubt of that at that moment, so the things work even if we are not the best friends, but now we're still speaking, and we still with a very good relation.
That's good to hear. And in terms of other players, Nelson, so let's say your first year when you came into Omonoia, who is one player that you, or in the training ground or also in the field, you looked at him and you said, this guy is going to do some bad things to the other team today? Who was that player that can take the team with him, that can be the game changer, had that confidence, the skills? Who do you think it was during your time there?
In that year, we had some important players that could do this, Magno Mussolini, or a guy that he could change the game.
Those free kicks.
With free kicks, shoots, was really someone that he could change the things very suddenly. Musa Mguni also, he was appearing in that time. Musa, he was starting to be a player, a player, and he was able to do crazy things. When nobody was expecting, he could do something really different. Caiaphas is always Caiaphas with these free kicks, with these shoots, also from far. But I believe in that time special. I of course Paulo Rink, but he was very short time. It was very short because when I came, he was there just I believe 2 weeks, and he's gone. He's gone. He was the problem with Mr. Andonis, and he gone. But the players after that, we continued the championship. I think Musa Mguni and Magno Mussolini they were the men's. Yes.
Nice. Two legends.
Yes.
I'm good for now. The questions. I want to save some questions for after. I'm going to pass it over to Andreas. Andreas, hit it.
You said about the league at that time. You were a good duo with Petros. I think you played in some important matches. I think in the cup final with Anorthosis.
Yes.
Some other. What do you remember the most? The games with APOEL. What do you remember most from your time in Cyprus?
These derbies, these big games, of course, they are always in my mind. The first time that we play against APOEL, I cannot forget because when I arrived, I played for UEFA, and the first game in the championship was against APOEL, and I have not the idea what we're playing a match APOEL Omonoia, and when I start to understand, that was when I was in Hilton, we are moving for the bus to go to the stadium, and I was speaking with my wife in my mobile from Hilton to the bus in the parking, and suddenly they came, I don't know, 10 guys with the things in the head, and they throw us things, and I said, what's going on here? What's going on? They throw us the police. They came the police because they were the APOEL fans that they came. They throw us a lot of things, and Caiaphas. Oh, yes, Caiaphas was really nearby me, and okay, we had them ourselves, and he told me, you understand now what is APOEL Omonoia? And I say, yes. Now I start to understand what mean APOEL Omonoia, because they were telling me in the hotel, hey, look, you were about to play the biggest derby here in.
You have to see it to understand.
Yes, you will see the fans, and we need to win. This is our game, blah blah blah. I say, okay, let's go. Okay, of course, I'm ready. I want to play, of course. But you are not seeing what is this. You need to see. Okay.
Till you see it.
And after in the parking, when they came, Papa, I say, hey, now you see what is Omonoia APOEL. I say, okay, now I start to realize what is Omonoia APOEL.
Is it true that Gaiafa once stopped the bus to get off to fight some fans? I heard the story that Gaiafa asked the bus driver to once stop the bus so he can get off.
Yes, of course, I remember that. This is Caiaphas stuff, of course. He did that. We are I don't remember the game. To be honest. But I remember this episode that he did. Oh, we stop, we go and we fight with them. I remember. I remember very well. Brilliant. But this final against Anorthosis, I was injured in the week, and Mr. Matsourakis was Matsourakis, yes. Okay, he was trying to push me to play. I wanted a lot to play. After I didn't play in the first 11, and I came in the game. But was for me was really a sad game, because it was the opportunity to win something with Omonoia, and I felt that was the biggest opportunity to win something with Omonoia, special because in that period was a very big instability in the club, a lot of problems in the club, even changes of coaches, so it was not easy, and I felt that okay, this is the moment, and we didn't achieve, so it was a really sad moment. But of course, was a big moment. Was a big moment, and the derbies against APOEL especially in the first year, because we were very close. It was a big fight in the
league with Anorthosis APOEL, I think.
Yes, Anorthos APOEL, yes, because Anorthos was very, very strong with Katsbaya, and they were very, very,
Yes.
very strong in that year also. And so the derbies against them were unbelievable atmosphere. Always against them was the moments that I will never forget for sure. Yes.
Nelson, was Vagovtsis there?
Bakutis,
Remember
yes,
when you beat Anorthosis, and I think
yes.
Vagovtsis scored 2 goals. You
Two
played that
goals,
match, right?
2 goals. Yes,
I
yes.
remember how
Uh,
crazy the fans. How was
Crazy,
that experience for you?
was
Insane, right?
crazy. To be honest, maybe maybe that game, maybe was the game that was we had the biggest emotions. You understand? Without a title, but the way the score went, was an explosion of happiness in that game. That maybe was the biggest. Even we won some games also against Apoel, but that in Anorthosis there in their home was something really special. It was crazy and it was full, of course, as always. And Vakusis did very well. Also, all of us we did a very good game. I remember very well. And Vakusis was the guy. Of course, he made the difference.
Nice. I like that.
Andrea?
And okay, about that time, you said a lot of problems with the board, changes of the coaches. What was this experience? Did you have something like that in Portugal, or it was new to you? These problems, it was an odd situation.
Yes. Unfortunately, was not the first time for me. In Portugal, I've been faced already those kind of problems before to go in Omonia. Even when I finished my contract in Naval, was after a year very complicated, also very difficult year. And even like that, even with that, we achieve our goal and we stay in first division. That was very difficult with a lot of problems, coaches, with the board. So for me, was not new. The just new thing that was in another country is in another country. But the okay, I was already used with. You understand? Of course, is not that they are not easy um, things to live with, or to lead with. But unfortunately, or for either side, was good that I already had this experience. So I knew how to manage them and to live with. You understand? So was not new, but they were difficult.
And your first year was good. The second year, not so good in Omonia. Everyone talks about those own goals. How did you experience that? The fans were really passionate and really with the players. They had some. In that year, I think the fans with the players don't have so good relations. I think in some games. What happened in that year? How did you experience it?
The second year was really bad. We cannot hidden is was really bad. For me personally, and for the group, for the team. But with these own goals that nobody will forget, any support of Omonia will forget for sure. Myself, the same. But to be honest with you, the supporters, even if they were really sad with the team and angry because the bad results, uh, from my side, you understand, when they in the city or even in the stadium, when we meet each other, they didn't have uh, bad words for me. You understand? Sometimes was the opposite.
The emotions.
Yes, they told me, Nelson, you were unlucky. How is possible? One time, it's not a thing to laugh, but I laugh because the way the guy told me, Nelson, what's happened? Go to the church. He told Nelson, hey, what's up with you? I like you, I love you, but go to the church always, always. What's happened? I say, what can I say? Is the time that I'm in the right place in the wrong time, and I tell you, was a shame because I love the time that I passed in Omonia, and I really believe that I could stay there for a years. After Omonia, I still play football for 10 years. You understand? 10 years. I finished my career at 39. So I was really sure that I will do something special in Omonia. Was a shame. The life is like that. We cannot control. But to answer to your question, yes, was a really difficult moment. The second year.
I think many players play in Omonia, foreign players, have this connection with the fans. It stays with them for many years. So you have played 15 years ago and you still talking about the Omonia fans like this. I think this we see it with many players, and on this podcast who spoke here, they told us the same thing.
Yes, it's a kind of I cannot explain. I don't know if somebody can explain that, but there is a relation. It's very easy. It's very easy to do this connection. This chimic is I cannot explain. For me, okay, I played there 2 years. But the feeling is that I played there for more than 2 years, and the connection with the fans was something really close, and hot. And when I left, for me was a really sad and difficult moment. After I played for another club in Cyprus, AEK, which I enjoyed a lot. I respect the fans a lot, a lot. But okay, these first years that I play in Omonia, they were really strong, really strong. Yes.
What was it like seeing so many managers come and go at the club? I lost count how many you had in the time that you were at Omonia.
4 or 5, I think.
At least four. It was Andonis, Matsourakis, Tutic, Savidis. So four.
Yeah.
It's four. And okay, it's not easy. It's never easy. When the things start to go in that way, even the players they start to lose. We start to lose the reference of the leader. You understand? You don't have a leader to have a reference because you are always change. So the group after is obliged to arrange their own ways in the group to be strong. And the group leads the coach that will come, because the group is almost the same and the coaches they are changing, so the group should be the leader and the coaches they will come and they will follow. It's more like that the opposite, so was that I follow I felt at the moment, that we are a buzz, that we are going, but we don't have a really driver. It was like that. Yes.
It's difficult to get any kind of consistency going when there's constant changes because each manager's got their own training methods, their own backroom staff, their own tactics. And when you're playing in the Cypriot League, you don't get much time to really develop. Okay, now we're seeing Henningberg get the time that he needs, and obviously it's worked wonders. But back when you were playing, it was normal to get rid of managers after 3 or 4 games, wasn't it?
Yes, it was normal. So what the coaches, they could make, the difference that they could make in the groups were more psychological, more than technical or tactical. You understand? Because first of all, they will not have time to do it as you are telling, and so without time there is not consistency, and also because okay, they felt also themselves that they were there for a short time if the thing doesn't work, so there is not any way to have this consistency, so it was difficult.
I was talking to Rui Lima last week, and he was telling me about his departure from the club, how a Turkish team came in for him, and Omonoia said, "No, you're in our plans." And then a few weeks later, Okuka has gone, and he was no longer required. I'm sure you've seen and heard a lot of things with other players. Did it surprise you how certain players or some players were treated? Because speaking to Zelas, for example, he was telling us how great the club treated him with the personal problems that he and his wife had. But then you have other players who perhaps were treated a little bit different. Did you notice any favoritism, so to speak, or anything that made you think, I don't know, this doesn't seem right?
Yes. I forgot also Kuka. So there were 5. We are 5 coaches. I forgot Kuka. So yes, of course, I understand what Rui told about it, because I saw some other situations that were not, in my opinion, were not well done at the time. But again, unfortunately, this happened a lot in football. There is a lot of people in football, especially I speak in the boards, because the persons will decide. There is a lot of people that when you are when you are good, when you are a performer very well, you are the best. But if the things start to change, they will change also. You understand? Okay, it's not the way that I see even the football, even the life, because it's not the like this that my education was for. But I know that unfortunately this is normal. And in Omonoia, yes, I saw some situations like that at the time, that really the process was not well done, for sure. For myself, to be honest, was not so. It was not easy to finish my relation with Omonoia. They asked me to break the contract because there is the club of a big change at that moment. So it was not easy. Also, in that time, I felt that was not fair the way the things were done. But okay, I'm like that. What's going on? Finish. This was the best, and was looking forward and move.
So these days, what are you doing now after football? What are you up to?
Okay, so I finished my career at 39, at 4 years old. 4 years before. I started as a sport director in the team that I were playing. So we promote for the second division. I didn't finish the year there, but we promote for the second division in Portugal. And after I create my own agency of representation of players. So I have some players that I represent. So is my job now. I'm agent. My activity. I'm football agent. And okay, I hope to visit Cyprus soon.
You work with Cypriot teams.
Yes. That's why sometimes I speak with Petros when he was in APOEL as a sport director. So always as a sport director we speak usual, and some also agents that I worked with them when I worked there, and we still have connection relation with some players also. I try to continue to be connected. Nicolas Georgiou, sometimes we speak with some friends from yes. Sometimes we speak with I speak with some of them. Yes.
Lovely. Chris, have you got any questions for Lemo?
I'm going to ask you something about Nicolas. Obviously, he's a club legend. I mean, he was always smiling. He was always laughing. He was always giving 110% for the team. How did he help you? Because I know he helped a lot of newcomers that came in. How did he impact you and help you during your first year to adjust?
Was one of the guys that he came to me from the first beginning time. He told me, Nelson, Omonoia is like this. You should do like that. We have this dimension. So welcome if you need something. And he was always asking. So was a really very good guy from the beginning. Was really Nicolas is the guy. An example, and was an example. Was an example. Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Stel,
Andrea, any more questions for Lemo?
Hey, you talked about the relationship with our players with Petros was not so good at the start. And there were not so many foreign players at that time in Cyprus. It was 5, 6. I think it was the language and barrier that you have to cross to be more to perform in a team in Cyprus. Do you think that made some? Okay.
No. This I don't think so. I don't think so that the language was
because now there are 15, 20 foreigners in every team. At that time we were 5, 6. I think that year you were 5. You were Makno, Zelias, Mguni, and some other players. I don't recall. Ismail Ba, yes.
Ismail Ba, Grozanowski.
Yes,
Grozanowski also, and that's all. Yes, and we were not too much. But the language was not a problem. No. I don't see. I believe that was the beginning of the entry of the foreigners, and I believe also that the Cypriot players, some of them, because I speak with about Petros. But there is some others that we felt a little bit, struggling at the beginning, But it's normal. They were not used with a lot of foreigners in the team, so they look you like this at the beginning. But in the end, I can tell you, with all of them, I had a really good relation. It's not really good relation, and after that, when I moved for AEK, when we met each other, it was always the big moments when we meet each other, wherever we met, with all of them. Yes.
Very nice.
Nelson, I've got a few quick questions
Okay.
because we've gone for 45 minutes. I really appreciate your time. I know that you're a busy gentleman. You know, I can relate. You know, I know exactly what you're going through as well, especially with the January transfer window looming. I've got some very hard questions. Okay. So, who was the most skillful player at Omonoia when you were at the club? The most skillful, most technically gifted?
Paulo Ring. I tell you, Paulo Ring. For the beginning was Paulo Ring. When I arrived was Paulo Ring.
Okay. Who was the worst dresser? Who came to training with the worst dress sense? You're like, oh my God, why are you wearing this?
I believe there is a colleague. His name was. You tell you that, you will tell me, okay, everybody's George. Everybody's George, but I don't remember his other name because he was working. He played for Omonoia, but he was working also in the post or something like this, you know, because at the at the time when I arrived there was okay, we speak 15 years ago. There is some players that they were playing in Omonoia, and at least I don't know, 2, 3, or 4 they were working somewhere else, and George was a colleague. I don't remember his the other name, but was the bad dresser. And was funny that was the guy also that one time he didn't.
Was Costandi? Yorgos Costandi? George Costandi?
I believe Costandi.
Yes,
Really?
yes. Defender.
Yes, it's Constantine. Constantine, one time he didn't went to the training before the game because he heard in the radio that he will not go to, his name were not in the list to go to for the game, for the next game. So he didn't went to the training. I laugh, I cry when they ask me, people, where is George? We don't know. After they call him, and he told, no, I was in the way, but I heard in the radio that I will not be in the list for tomorrow. So why to go to the training?
Why I come? I stay home, relax.
That was the most.
Brilliant. All right. Well, in training, obviously the fans don't see training sessions.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the funniest or the most embarrassing moment you've seen on the training pitch? Because as I said, there's a lot of things that we don't see as fans. We see things on the pitch, but a lot.
There is a lot. There is a lot. There is a lot of episodes. Let me try to find something quickly in the trainings because there is a lot of stories and episodes.
Some things can't be spoken about, right?
Yes. There is a lot of with the Portuguese. There is a lot of the Portuguese. The first time that they arrived there, and about the language to speak the Portuguese and to speak English. So there is a lot of stories with Rui Lima, with Pedro Torrão that we still have with these kind of stories, and we laugh a lot about that. But the episodes in the training. Now I'm trying to give me another question, and I will try to remember to tell you about, because I don't remember now a good history to tell you, but I will try to.
Okay. Did you or any of your teammates, your Portuguese or non-Cypriot teammates, learn to play tavli? It's like backgammon, isn't it? That's what they call it, backgammon. It's that board that folds out, and then you got the little round pieces, and you throw the dice. Did you?
Yes, I remember. Okay, the usual the people. No, I don't think so. I was thinking if I remember if someone was in this adventure, but no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, the last question I have, and I think I know the answer to this, but I just need clarification.
Okay.
The best dancer.
We know it.
The best dancer.
Yeah.
You say who? Musambuni? No.
Yes.
Obviously.
It was obvious.
Obviously.
Good. This is for sure.
He was dancing after goals.
Yes, always. Even in the training sometimes.
That's what I'm expecting, because in the dressing room at halftime or before the game there might be music being played, and you got different kind of music. Obviously, the Portuguese, you got kuduro as well, different kinds.
Yes.
Excellent.
A good atmosphere in the dressing room. Yes. We had a multicultural group, but it was with a nice atmosphere. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Well, gentlemen, is there any other questions you'd like to ask Nelson before we wrap it up?
I think I'm good. I think the only thing that I would like to say, obviously, I mean, I was very young when I used to watch Nelson, and we as fans, we appreciate it when players give 110%. And again, when Nelson said for the young goal or the second year that it wasn't going so well, but again, the players would be good to him, is because the fans, we understand, we see when someone will die for the team in the pitch, will give it 110%. So for me, as a younger fan, I would just like to say it's nice to be able to interview you, and also thank you for the years that you came in Omonoia. We appreciate what you did.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Well, boys and girls, that's it for the episode of the No Choftes podcast. Andrea, thank you for jumping on board. Philemon from Thema Sports. I can see the background. It's absolutely lovely. Chris, thank you very much. And Nelson, thank you very much, Philemon, for joining. Chris, wrap it up in the way you know best. Come on.
So, first of all, props to Nelson Veiga for joining us. Nelson, do you have Instagram? They can find you here, Nelson Veiga. Okay.
Yes, they can find me in Nelson.
Follow
Veiga,
Mr. Nelson Veiga on Instagram. Show some support for Andreas from Thema Sports. I don't know your Instagram. We can share it. Follow the big man, Stel, on Instagram. Follow myself, DJ STS Mike. I'm sorry I'm a little bit tired because I was DJing last night. But to wrap it up, we are the Alpha Podcast. We are the voice of the voiceless. Bameshilakamu.